How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's having a good evening or late night, early morning, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. We are just checking out how this new Xbox is. My old Xbox was honestly overheating, all sorts of issues, so we had to get a new one. We're gonna test out how this thing goes while also prepping for the playlist. I've got some guesses as to what's on the next playlist based on the images, how the images were this week, how they related to what the restrictions were, and the images we see for next week. So we're gonna be tuning some stuff, particularly the PR stunts. I've actually already recorded some footage for the weekly challenge. How's it going, William? Welcome to the stream. Looks like we have a few subscribers. Thank you so much, Kaio and Strigan, for subscribing. Appreciate y'all. Trying to decide, because we do have a Trailblazer. What's up, Shadow? Welcome to the stream. We are gonna need some sort of off-road car that can do PR stunts. It's looking like that might have to be a rally car. I can do the Tacoma actually. The Montero. Where did we get that Montero from? Why do I feel like that was our reward for something? A story? We used this in a story. Road trip, I believe. Is that what it came from? No? What did this come from? Shadow, are you on my Discord? Check out season previews under the welcome tab. I put in my best guesses for the next 3 consecutive weeks. Why does that look orange, the picture? Especially the last one I put in there a note for you on the last one. Why does it keep translating? YouTube did this new thing where they try to translate text, and it looks like it might just be on my screen. But it puts up like a little image that says auto translation was enabled. And it tries to translate Oh, is it not just me vibing? Avi literally just said hive rail and it auto translates it to hi, comma, rail, period, with a little translation text. It's really annoying because when you say Sony circuit, does that show up the auto translation text for anybody else? It translates it to sound circuit. And Sony circuit is literally the name of a circuit in this game. That's when I first noticed it. Like you're gonna sit here and say names of race routes. Let's see. See what else we can make it auto translate. Oh, it doesn't try to do anything with that. Yeah, it doesn't try to do anything with that. What else do we got? Trying to find stuff that I have in my little Excel file, little notepad here that is clearly in a different language. Oh, it doesn't try to do anything with Otani region either. No, yeah, I don't know. I guess Sony circuit was literally the only thing we could make it, we could type that would have done the auto translation. How's it going, vibing? By the way, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Shadow, I'm pretty sure there is a seasonal online for spec racing in the 4th week. That's why I put in a little note for you whenever I made that one. But the reason I don't think that one is D class is because the picture. No, it's next week actually. I think that is an AutoZam AZ1 in the picture without the rear wing. Not the Abarth, but the one behind the Abarth. And Majestic Domestics is clearly Eclectic Domestics. But I have an AutoZam AZ1. And it will let me use that for that event. And that car is stock B class. So I kind of think it's going to be B class. Because I originally put just D class. But the one race that's like default restricted to that. Same vibe and same. The only thing I have left to do is the 2 circuit races. Hello? Video game? Can I play? Okay. How's it going, Avi? So far it's good. Wait, next week's? It's letting you do next week's. Bro, can I play the game? So if you go here and click this for Eclectic, it lets me use the AutoZam AZ1. And I'm pretty sure that's stock B class. I haven't actually checked to see if that car is stock though. Guess I should do that. Let me do that. Because I did get that at an aftermarket dealer. So that car might not actually be stock. Okay, there's something wrong with my internet. Hello? Not connected. Okay. That car being tuned at the aftermarket thing is what you baited me into thinking that was B class. I was really hoping it would be D class, alright, Shadow? I don't want to do a D class seasonal championship, but Nat type unavailable. I ran this test right when I got this Xbox, and it worked. Okay, why is it so slow? Yeah, I haven't started tuning mine yet. Okay, why in the world did it suddenly brick the connection? I downloaded the entirety of FH5 yesterday on this Xbox at 1 gigabit per second. Hang on. I need to test this. That's gonna show something that should not be shown on stream. So I'm gonna close that out real quick. Because not only did I run a speed test on it and it speed checked at 1 gigabit per second, I downloaded the entire, yes I did, Shadow. It was 637, but yeah. After taxes and everything, it was basically $700. Yeah, I literally took my old Xbox apart, cleaned it thoroughly, and put it back together. Okay, why is it so freaking slow? This is what it should be testing at. I just ran a speed test on my PC, and the internet connection to this Xbox is going through a Ethernet switch that is supplying Ethernet to both my PC and my Xbox. The speed should be the same, but it is not. This is what it's showing here. Those two speeds should be exactly the same, and it is just simply not. I'm not sure why. I just returned a whole freaking Xbox because it would not stay up to speed. and it's still not doing it. Because this new one was doing it yesterday and now it's not. I just booted it up, Avi. And look at this stuff again. Yeah, I thought it was just overheating, but overheating because it wasn't clean enough. I guess I can reboot it. Let me try that. This will also let me know if it's accurately signs me in this time. Because last time it made me click and log in. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. Why is it lagging to connect? It's literally an Ethernet connection. It should not. There should not be a delay. But let me download, because I moved FXX to my external. Well, it's technically an internal hard drive. It's external, internal hard drive. I did not play FXX-5. I was only playing FXX6. But no, I did not check that. So the thing is, Avi, I did not play any game on my Xbox was completely turned off for basically a month. And then before that, it was turned off for another month. Sean. And in that time, it just sat gathering dust. And I think something about it just sitting there gathering dust, it did not like. But yeah, I completely cleaned out my Xbox. I took it completely apart, followed the step-by-step guide. Testing, check. We back?
Welcome back, Sean.
I think I need to refresh my page here. There we go. There's chat. All right, we got chat back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. All right, we were tuning this for B class. I'm pretty sure the PR stunts are going to be B class. And every single car in every single PR stunt restriction, like the picture, is a Japanese car. So I'm assuming they're just doing country Japanese or country Japan for every single car for all the PR stunts. A 50-pound tire, that's crazy. No, it didn't go over. Yeah, I'm mostly just tuning to get a head start, so I'm not actually going to record anything. I did record the Forza Weekly Challenge. I recorded that, and I used for the drift zone, I used the drift zone that we're getting next week, not this upcoming week, but the week after, because it seems like it's going to be another A class or S1. It might have been the last week, actually. We're getting a drift zone in what I think is an A class restriction, and I went ahead and tuned that's the Sylvia K, the starter car that you get. I went ahead and tuned that to drift because it says you have to earn 3 stars of drift zones. So I went ahead and just did a 3-starred, the drift zone we have to do in the last week, and what I think is going to be an A-class car in that starter Sylvia. And I was able to 3-star it, so pretty fun little drift tune. Just tuned up to A-class. Yeah, that covers my footage for that particular drift zone, as well as just getting it for that Forza Weekly Challenge. That'll also make it cheaper for anybody that's following the Forza Weekly Challenge video that I put out. They'll already have that car or that tune downloaded. And I did have to make 3 different tunes for it. One for road, one for drag racing, and one for drifting. But I used like similar parts for each one, so we are not sure, but we don't think so. Levy. Yeah, I just made it 3 different tunes, man. I'm not not gonna worry about all that nonsense. Like if you don't want to download 3 different tunes, chew out not Blizzard. This is not a Blizzard game. Chew out PGG. I'm not used to having to say chew out PGG because usually that's something you do in Diablo. You don't do that in this game. You don't chew out the devs all that often. But new game, new issues apparently. I actually don't think they did that very often with Forzathons, making you do that wide variety of things. I think we did have a Forzathon Weekly Challenge in a Sylvia that did in fact need to drift, but I think you only had to get drift skills. I don't think you actually had to do a drift zone. Either that or you had to do a drift zone and get drift skills and win a road race. I don't remember. I made a video on it though. That was like series 15 or 16. It was a while ago. Yes, it definitely is advantage to manual clutch players. But you also don't have to win, right? You just have to complete a race, so. Wait, were they that inaccurate last game? I think we can get that down. Oh, they were perfect. Okay. How's it going, Shane? Welcome to the stream. We are testing out this Xbox and tuning. This Xbox is getting kind of warm, but hopefully with it being a brand new Xbox, it won't actually just straight up crash. It could also be, like Avi said, that it's just this game and they'll fine tune it. Definitely not. No, Shane, I'm not an online racer. I mean, I'll do it from time to time, but that's not something that I strive for. All right, let's see how this does on this Trailblazer. A lot of their Trailblazer times are like really strict for the 3 stars, so I don't really think this will be able to 3-star this, but we'll see. Well then. Can't even get this thing to show all 10 gears. What is with this suspension? That makes no sense at all. Wait, what? Oh. I don't even know why that 1.5 diff is even a thing. It's not like it adds PI. Just let us edit all the settings. Alright, how's the acceleration? Barn find. I thought for a second it was actually going to tell me what it was, but that's the car that was already in there. So these gift drops, actually going to be getting all the gift drops that get sent for a while. I don't think I have that car, actually. Pretty sure I don't. How's the launch for now? It's on dirt. Probably shouldn't have gone to the highway for that though. The Honda Acti, is that thing? I was wondering what she was using. Do you get that car from because it looked like yeah, that thing. That's what it looked like. Is it like a all-wheel drive drifting thing? Yeah, I mean, it looked like the car that we use in this delivery thing. That's why I went in here to look to see if you got it for free with this. And if you do, it's right there. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't have like major issues. It took me a couple of tries, which I'm definitely not used to it taking me a couple of tries. Drift zones. So I'm pretty terrible at drifting, but I can at least get 3 stars most of the time. Speed, Shane, and speed at angle is really all it is. Like take this one for example. Because if you can't hold the drift on this particular one, then you got to practice on this. Because a lot of times it is kind of hard to hold the drift because you don't have enough space to really let loose. But this road is literally made for holding a drift. I need to go downhill actually, rear-wheel drive. So if you can't hold your drift on this road, you need to practice holding your drifts because it's all about speed and angle. Oh wow, it starts all the way back there. The rear grip. Wait, even all-wheel drive? It doesn't have any grip in the rear? Go to this drift zone, and if you can't hold your drift through that entire drift zone, just keep practicing it to get used to how much throttle you need to feather, how much speed you need to be going to hold that drift, and the little micro changes to the steering you got to do. Yeah, you should be able to hold it throughout that entire thing. If the back slides out, it's oversteery. So the first thing I would do is I just reached for my mouse to do this quickly. I'm gonna have to get used to not doing that. The first thing I would do is offset the front and rear like this. That's the first thing I would do. Maybe not this drastically, but I definitely this change. Because usually you do it the other way. Usually the rear has more issues actually whipping around the corners. But if you're not having any, if you're turning and the rear is sliding out, it's oversteering. So you want to change the balance of the suspension. All right, we were testing the Montero. On the on-par Trailblazer. What is the 3-star goal for this? 40 seconds. Okay, that's actually quite generous. I'm assuming you start with 60. Yeah, okay. So you got 20 seconds to drive across the entire golf course. Oh yeah, pick a 3-star. It's a little bit bumpy though. Let's see if we can fix that. Maybe the other direction. Tuning out the bumpiness is always annoying to do. The settings don't always do exactly what they say they do. Because you would think, oh, bumpiness, yeah, just change the bump stiffness. But if you have too much bump stiffness and your springs are too tight, it's gonna still be bumpy. But if you have not enough bump stiffness and your springs are too loose, it's going to be very bumpy. Everything's got to be in balance. I felt a little bit better. Just it's truck suspension. It shouldn't be that bouncy. Yeah, I've been trying to stick with cars that everybody should have. I don't know why I have this though. I feel like it was gifted to me in some way, shape, or form by the game, but that seems way too bouncy. I tried really soft springs. Trying to lower just a little bit. It's not even just that it's going up in the air when you hit a jump. That's what you expect. It's how much is going in the air when you hit the jump that is concerning to me. And the way it feels when it happens. That didn't feel too terrible. Let's hit this trailblazer one more time. It's like they picked the bumpiest part of the fairway and decided to make that the trailblazer. Is there a less bumpy way we can do that? Clearly we're gonna go through this fairway. This leads into another fairway. It's the worst possible spot we could have gone. I think this is like the exact same spot we just went actually. I don't know. The only time I didn't 3-star was the time I went like way off in the middle of nowhere over here and landed really badly. Came to like a complete stop and I missed it by like a second, so it should be fine. I wonder if this needs to be stiffer. wonder how much the Montero is. I might have bought this car at a used car dealer. Might have been where I got it. There we go. The suspension was just too soft. Let's see how much this car is. Because if this car isn't free, it might be kind of expensive. Like I'm thinking 400K. Oh, wait, no, that's not the right one. Is it? No, it is a Montero. Wait, this isn't auto show at all. Okay, where did we get this car? Doesn't say. It's a barn find. Oh, okay. That's why. Which barn find is that? Do the barn finds have a color next to it that says when it was unlocked? I feel like some of the last ones we unlocked was this Mazda. It's like the last one we unlocked, and it's just randomly here in the middle. FHLMN. Okay, it's just alphabetical by manufacturer. And the barn finds don't have any sort of color on them to say how far along the progression needed to be. Okay, I can't use this car then. As with my luck, this would be the one of the ones that get unlocked when you get gold stamp. And every single person in the comments would be like, how do I get this car? So yeah, I want a car that everybody already has. I would like to tune a car that nobody has to purchase because they all have it. And I'm not sure that's going to be an option. Not this week, at least. At least not for this Trailblazer. Where did we get that from? I guess I can look at that. That's a Polaris? Are we serious right now? That was the cross-country reward. The Polaris. They're not making it easy, are they? Do we get the Land Cruiser for doing something? Some sort of... Oh, that's a British car. Why are they gifting us a German car and a British car? For the stuff. There's no cars there. No cars there. I've barely seen any Japanese car. Hey, congrats, hermano. That might be an option. Give me 500. Each of these gave 300. So you need to complete 2 of these to get the Honda City. Pretty sure that's a Honda. They should be able to do a Trailblazer. Maybe I just tune many options. That might be the play. That Honda City was like the only thing that I saw that was even Japanese. That was like moderately viable. And it's going to be kind of an expensive tune. And that's even if the suspension can be tuned correctly. If it costs more than 100,000, I'm not going to do it. I think we're not going to be able to get away from doing it that much. What does that Land Cruiser start out at? Like what PI? Because it's already going to cost 20k just to do the all-wheel drive and change it to off-road tires. It really doesn't leave much room. We're probably going to have to do an engine swap to make it fast enough, which is another 20k. And I can't even put... I guess with how light it is, we might be able to put enough power in this stock engine. Oh, it starts out in C-Class. Interesting. It's 50k. The last thing it needs is to be lighter, but what are we at now? 67k. That is kind of pushing it. And I could get it to S1 like that, but it wouldn't really be doing much for its handling capability. Just make it look better. And cost more. Yep. I'm not gonna do this. Because first I'd be telling people to go do 2 chapters of the auto show, not the auto show, the what's his name, Yuji? I think his name's Yuji. Of his story, just to unlock the car. Then they gotta spend 75,000 credits just to get it up to A class to be able to. Wait, did I say A class? It only needs to be B class. What am I doing? Going crazy. That should be doable. Wait, that thing got to A class? That's crazy. Okay, we can do. Could do B class without it costing that much. Still 43,000 credits though. It's just the drivetrain swap and tire compound swap starts yet at 20K. Don't do turbo. It's probably the most bang for your buck though as far as upgrades go. Very weird with those little tiny tires. We can't really get away from doing that. $50,000 credits. Can it do the Trailblazer though? Did I not do suspension? What's wrong with me? Okay, 53,000 credits. I keep reaching for my mouse to make this quicker. I can't do that. Have a good one, Avi. Thanks for hanging out. Really don't think the springs need to be that stiff. This thing weighs 1,000 pounds. try it. I think it's gonna be insane. Yo, could this thing be this game's Mini Cooper? Yeah, at this point though, how likely are they to change something like that? So, especially something that was done with intentional design. Because somebody designed that. Why did it sound like there was some sort of creature that I just went past there? Was that my engine? Is that like a yowl of some sort of cat? Like a wild cat. It's like the engine reverberated off of something as I drove past. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Suspension felt great until I jumped on the course we actually have to use it for. Let's actually assume it has the same issue as the last car and increase this. Road racing, not dirt racing. Is this giving off like really strong Mini Cooper vibes? And that thing was meta for dirt racing. Okay, well, we 3-start it. See if we can dial in suspension though. I mean, I guess it was kind of meta for road racing too, but I mainly used it for dirt racing. Holy. We want to avoid that spot. Get a little bit faster that time. Can we maybe increase that? Just shouldn't have rewound. It was a very convoluted path, but we wrangled it through to the finish. That is definitely not the suspension settings we were looking for. Let's try higher. I know this seems very counterintuitive with how light this thing is. That spot seems very deliberately placed, because there's not many ways you can go to avoid that one spot. That is a really, really nasty bump. The only thing you could really do to not drive on that spot is to go this way. Is that spot? Or that spot? Surely it's not that spot. What spot is that? This spot? No. Over here. I don't actually know where that was. We'll find it. But I think if you go over to the left from a little bit earlier on, you can avoid that spot. Like right here. Okay. This is even worse. Okay, that is much worse. But did I just take it bad, or was that actually just a terrible route? But I also started with no run up. Can I start the Trailblazer, please? Okay. We need to aim further to the right. Slower, but easier. Okay, this suspension's dialed in though. Do I even have that Toyota? I don't think I do, because I didn't notice it. No. What is with the cover cars in this game? Or did you not get the cover car in FH5 either? I feel like you did. I just don't remember what you did to do it. Not something I ever really paid attention to because it was never a car that I really enjoyed racing. But I feel like on my alts, it's one of the cars I just had early on for some reason. Okay, so this car... Yeah, see, this car is already more expensive. Yeah, I didn't really like it in this game either, but that might be mostly because of its stock tune. Because its stock tune has terrible top end. Okay, so the choices are the 4Runner. I guess I can just tune all of them. I'm pretty sure I've got most of them. I have this. Yeah, I don't know why I had it on the particular alt that I'm thinking of, but it's one of the few cars I had. I might have just got lucky on a wheel spin. Are there any other cars I didn't own? That, but that would be way too expensive. Yeah, I just don't like it in this game because it tops out at 220 on the stock tune. Because me and Emma used that for the Colossus, and the Dravitars were handled a lot better than us. We figured, hey, I guess it's just the stock tune. So I had tuned the Centenario, and our top speed went from 220 in the AMG 1 to 250-ish in the Centenario, and the Dravitar's top speed went from 220-ish to 250-ish. So, and our handling didn't really improve all that much. A little bit, but not all that much. So Dravitar still ended up being super OP. On auction house, auto show. I kind of need to try to snipe some cars at some point too. Apparently people are up to their hacking shenanigans, and they're hacking the cars into the game early. Saw a couple of videos of people who were able to snipe the Ferrari. I guess I can buy that to tune it. Somebody might have got it in a wheel spin or something and might want to tune for it. I can buy that to tune it. Just tune all of them. Why not? All these credits that I got are from people downloading my tunes anyways, so I might as well spend it on tuning options. Oh, did I get a car collection? That's hilarious. Oh, I got 250,000 credits back from the car collection. Nice. What else do we got? Yeah, I was surprised that you were able to post it on the auction house that early. Like, that's the earliest you can get that is the 3rd week. I definitely should not have let you post it. But I guess they got in trouble in prior games, blocking stuff from being posted in the auction house and then forgetting to unlock it in a timely fashion. And it pissed a lot of people off. Alright. That's only like 6 cars to tune. It's not bad. And there's a danger sign that we can probably use these same cars on, so. So I agree that the person that posted the car in the auction house that should not have obtained that car that early should be banned. I don't agree that somebody purchasing a car from an auction house should be banned. I guess I could just start with the one that I already have. Let's do this. That'll be a pretty easy tune, actually. Just make everything adjustable and then add a little bit of power. Does it already have off-roads? Yeah, it's got standard off-roads. Nice. That is rough. Guess we gotta do this. Ouch. Let's make a match. Should not really have to do much to this. Yeah, the problem with them stopping it from them posting it early is like I was saying a little bit earlier. They tried to do that a lot of times in FH5 too, and they were usually very, very slow with actually making them postable again. Like in most of the instances I can think of that something was blocked from being posted before it was able to be obtained. For some reason they didn't go in, and the second the playlist started that anybody would be able to unlock it, they didn't lift the restriction. It was several hours or even days after it was able to be obtained. So historically, they don't have a very good track record of timely lifting of auction house bans. Because it's kind of a double-edged sword, because it pisses people off that people were able to go in and obtain that car early if they were able to snipe it through the auction house from the few people that hacked the car in. But then when it comes time to actually unlock the car, they want to be able to post that car, or at least most people that are complaining, they want to be able to purchase that car from the auction house from people posting it. And if people can't post it, they won't be able to buy it. Or sorry, if people can't post it, the people that want to buy it won't be able to buy it. That is definitely an avatar. That's one heck of an avatar. I've never liked the way cars look with this orange, with like the stock livery options in there. It's the only orange one I see. The Jurassic, that's a camel one. I don't even think there is a version of camel that is orange. Why is that a camel one? Yeah, see, like this orange. I like the way that looks with all the decals on there. Where was it? Let's look at this. Anybody know what these characters mean? Is this gonna get me banned if the wrong person sees what this text says? Oh well, we'll risk it. Let's test it. That is definitely a long first gear. What the heck? Looks safe. Yeah, I just don't know what that says. I don't even know what language that was. That should be seven used gears. Does that fix first gear though? No, it does not. Let's just make this longer then. That is even worse. Did I make that? That's why I did that backwards. Let's test that. There's just a really short first gear, but I guess it just doesn't have very much power. Not too sure about this. Let's try that first. How did that not fill my skill score? See how bumpy it is on the main stretch. That was the best score so far, I think. And it felt fine. Next car. It's already able to drive. Nice. Wait, did that not have any engine swaps available? Oh, it did. Okay. You can put a Racing V12 in this thing? What the heck? Typical Forza Offroad. Hey, can you not put a 4-speed in this? The heck? It's unusual. This is very low in D class. Maybe we can get it up there. Oh no, doesn't look like it. It is kind of heavy though. We might be able to take some weight off. Nope. It's not gonna do it. What about the tires? Yeah, that'll do it. I wonder why. Water horsepower. 160 miles an hour. Maybe. 150 actually. Can go down to 12. Really wish you could have like a default transmission setting. That might just be a weird me thing though. I don't know. So I feel like usually my transmission settings are basically static, just with a couple of key alterations depending on how that particular engine accelerates. What the rev limit is, that sort of thing. Oh, ouch. That is Another one that's going to have a really, really short first gear. Hang on. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. First, let's see if it's salvageable with this. Where's first gear want to be? Not terrible. A little bit shorter. Okay. So I put that at 2.0. No. No. That's the minimum, actually. That's hilarious. Still not low enough. I would want to go one tick down. Oh, that actually will do that. Yeah, that's about top speed. 7th gear is fine. Hey, he stopped for me. Yeah, nope, that suspension is not doing the trick. Let's try that. Can we not have like perfectly smooth mountains? That's another thing with this game. I feel like most of the terrain is like super smooth. Like I'm going to test these cars in cross country and they're like super freaking smooth. And then you go in the cross country race itself and they found like the areas of the road like this, where it's the bumpiest it can possibly be. It's like they adjusted the terrain on the portions of road that were going to be used for cross-country races to be as strategically bumpy as they could possibly be, and left the rest of the terrain everywhere else in the game super flat. Okay, so it's gonna land in 8th gear. It's fine. It is fine. Now the true test. Okay, not as good as some of the other options, but it got there. Suspension did feel completely terrible. I think that's mostly that I just have figured out the path. Did I spell this wrong? I figured out the best path. That might be part of it. Oh, there's 2 7s. Is it gonna make me go back in there every single time? It is. Okay, I would like to lodge a complaint. I just want to download all of his paints that he made for me without having to go back into this menu every single time. Please and thank you. I also want to be able to apply the paint to any of the version of this car in my garage from here. I think I already downloaded that. Ooh. Paint the RS200. Yeah, I think with these quality of life updates on the painting menu, it will be perfect. I think that was the last one. Got those 3. Got those 2. Yeah. What about Emma? I swore I looked at the paints for this car. Guess not, though. Did she just now paint this? I swear I went in. Yeah, not having an option to apply these paints to any car that matches it in my garage. It's very annoying. Oh, I already had that downloaded. All right, next car. That is a treasure car. Just Starts out at the very bottom of D class. There also needs to be a way to filter your designs. Like to see designs just for this car. If there are any, they should be like the very first ones. I don't think there's any in there, but it would be nice. Wait. Is that considered the wing? Is that just going to be white? You can't paint that. That's coming off them if you can't paint it. Why did we decide to remove the camper from the turbo? Because it couldn't be painted, that's why. It looked horrible on my orange Safari. So it had to go. It was the first thing I did on the tune was remove that darn thing. Nothing's in the back that isn't disposable. It's 3,500 pounds. Surely this engine can't get up to B class. Uh, 340 horsepower. Probably has some really bad tires on it. Hey, how does this look? I guess it adds something for them to hold on to when they're back there. That's a bit of weight though. Yeah, I just realized this is rear wheel drive. Maybe? No, it's all wheel drive. I think we're gonna have to engine swap it. Even with both of these. Yeah, there's no way we're making up 100 PI. Let's go on Outcast. Welcome to the stream. Oh, that's Zach. What's up? Enjoying Diablo 2? That is what y'all were in voice playing, wasn't it? I guess tires actually do kind of add 100 PI. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting car. With it being a treasure car, though, that's one kind of want to tune it as an option. Because the treasure cars aren't locked behind any sort of progression. Or are they? I think you just had to drive in the area, didn't you? This immediately makes it an expensive tune. But I guess we're already at 50K. Enough of that might be in the engine. This is actually makes sense. Yeah, it's about the same. I think we actually take the weight reduction off and make up the rest in upgrades. How did the market hold up? I guess with starting a couple of days late, did you end up getting the gear and getting the investment back? Or did you farm for the gear? I think it looks better without that. Nice, and then you ran another 6 for probably more. It's not a bad reset, especially just 2 days. I guess it was more than 2 days. No, that was like 2 days. I think I saw y'all jump in there, like, was it Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, okay. So you're about a day and a couple of hours late, or maybe exactly a day. That's not bad. Yeah, I have not actually logged on to D4 at all since this game came out. Even though there have been multiple fixes that made it somewhat worth going back and checking it out. Need to get rid of 3PI. The all-nighters are always the fun ones. Oh, I might be able to take that much off, actually. Yeah. Let's see how bad it is. 73K. Ouch. Holy. Yeah, I'm surprised there weren't more people playing it, especially considering the timing, because a full week before PoE 2. Have you been looking at the PoE 2 stuff yet? Yeah, I don't remember where I heard about it, but I heard about it somewhere. I don't remember when that was, though. Yeah. I've heard Ice Shot's supposed to be really good. I mean, Monk should be pretty easy to level after 11. But Huntress will be pretty easy from the beginning, so... yeah. If you played a Huntress though, what would you be playing? Because with Monk you'd probably need to start bows anyways. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting league because it's going to be like a 6-month-long league. Let's try this. Okay then. So when you say economy reset, is that actually like a proper reset? Everybody starts over? But there's not really major changes, they just release new ascendancies? But the same league? How's it going, Dom? Welcome to the stream. Okay then, that is possibly the bump sniffers, but we might have to adjust the springs. West Coast Core Bank? Aw, man. Yeah, that's most likely one of the questions they would be asking on that tavern talk. Like, what the heck are we gonna do for 6 months? I could see both Thea and Gassy asking that actually. Phrased almost precisely in that manner. What the heck are we gonna do for 6 months? No train coming? So it's basically a new league, but without a new league mechanic. Let's actually try this. Okay then. That is not it. Let's try this. Feels exactly the same. That's not what I wanted to click. Okay, just get a legendary car. Maybe I did intend to click that, sure. There we go. A little behind the bump sniffness though. Feels exactly the same. What is going on with the suspension of this car? Seriously. Now, it turns out, Shadow, it's not the route. The route is definitely very bumpy if you take the wrong suspension settings. Little bit better. Not a good landing though. There should be bump stiffness. Turn this up a little bit more. Really? That's gonna give me that legendary for accident going over there? Oh, okay. The last game, you had to go over twice and then over once to go to the tuning menu. That's why I keep doing that. Safari's hopeless. Surely the suspension is tunable. We can make this not terrible. Okay. Okay. Not perfect, but it was not a train wreck. Try it again. As soon as it lets me start the Trailblazer. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. Still a little bit on the springy side, but somebody asked a question in a comment. What's that? Day. What day did I make the tunes for the playlist? Okay, so far we've tuned both Monteros. This car that I'm in currently. That Honda City for reasons. And this Ridgeline. What else we got? The Baja truck, I guess. Is this even gonna be all-wheel drive swapping? I don't think it would let you in the last game. It does. While staying B class. It even has the good tires. How's it going, Zero? Welcome to the stream. We even fit anything in here. Not really. So you want like a full start to finish on how to tune, or are you getting stuck in a specific spot that you're wanting help with? So understeering, there's a couple of things you can do to fix understeering. Usually it has to do with the balance of the vehicle. And you have to counter the balance of the vehicle with your spring and damping tuning. Generally you want the front to be softer than the rear. So if your car came stock tuned looking like this, switch it to look like this if it's understeering. And same with the roll bars. You don't want the roll bars too crazy because you're on dirt. You can make it look a little bit like this. You want the rear to be stiffer than the front. Also a little bit to do with your diff settings. This is my standard diff settings for dirt or off-road. And this will be tend towards slidiness around corners because I like to drift around corners. And the only difference I usually do is rear, or the center. I do anywhere from 60 to 70 depending on what it does to the acceleration. You see, if I go down to 60, the 1 to 100 is 16.014. I'm at 70, it's 16.055. So I'm actually going to lower this down to 60. And you can fine tune it anywhere in there depending on how the acceleration reacts. Yeah, for dirt racing, kind of depends on how you dirt race, because I dirt race by drifting around corners a lot. So for drifting, you're going to want the diff slightly biased toward the rear for the center. That's going to put more power to the rear wheels to let you slide around a little bit easier. Yeah, definitely understeering is going to be a lot with these three settings. You want these three to match generally with the roll bars, springs, and damping, where the focus is for the stress you put on these settings. You notice all of these are front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. This is an off-road tune, so it's not going to be directly comparable. But for dirt racing, for example, if it's understeering, yes. If it's specifically, if it is understeering and having trouble turning, that is the way to do it. So for the springs, and this is just like minimum settings here, but the foot pounds, or sorry, the pound inches are it's lower in the front than the rear. Yeah, off-road tires. I like the way off-road tires handle better on off-road, and it also lets you squeeze in more power. But you notice I have the front is softer than the rear on both these, even if it's just like a tiny bit on the bump stiffness. And it's the same settings on the diff: 15.5, 70, 50, 70. Yeah, the main reason I like the off-road tires is that it lets you add more power. That's just the main reason. It also lets you drift around the corners a little bit better. This thing's not even going to be close to directly comparable though, because it's S2. Let me save this real quick. I think I can put the A-class tune in for this. I made this thing to fly across the map and for PR stunts. Minimum. Always minimum. The only time I ever change it from minimum is if I am load setup. The only time I ever change it from like the bare minimum is for drifting. Whatever your PSI is minimum, it grips. It makes it grip really well. When it's maximum, it makes it not able to grip very well. Maximum, you'll have trouble gripping at all, and minimum, you'll have really good grip. And some people will try to find like the balance of exactly where they're comfortable with keeping and losing grip, because it has to do with when you're accelerating out of corners and stuff, exactly how much it loses grip. I just have always preferred minimum to always keep as much grip. And then I drift around corners anyways. So this car isn't eligible for this event because it's not Japanese, but it is the same car class. And for dirt racing, I've always preferred drifting around corners. rather than trying to slow down enough to actually take the corner normally. I generally shift down to whichever gear I need to be in to take the corner properly. Sometimes tap the e-brake to extend the corners a little bit. Not terrible. For gearing, this is a little bit of a weird one. I usually put it at 302 and then anywhere between 1.9 and 2.2, and then I make it an arc from there. This one I had to switch it up a little bit, but generally it's 302, anywhere between 1.9 and 2.2, and then I make an arc from there. And then my final drive, I put it to wherever it needs to be. For this car, it was stalling. Yeah, I always put the 10-speed in there. Similar to the off-road tires, it adds PI, but I don't actually use all 10 gears. Not usually. Top speed of this is anywhere between 7th and 8th. I just put that in there because it's heavier, so it lowers the PI a little bit, so you could add more power. Let me see about a different one of these tunes. I'm pretty sure this one uses my settings. Yeah, this engine in this RS200 stalls. It's just the way it works. But you see on this tune, it starts at 302, and then the way the gearing felt best for this car was 218. And then just an arc from there, and we use 8 gears. And after I tune it, I always do a launch test, and I want to make sure it doesn't stall. Sometimes you can't get rid of it, but like on the launch, you want first gear to be short enough to not stall. And what I mean by stall, this might have too much power to actually stall, but yeah, it says too much power to stall. Let me put on my A-class tune, because I actually had to adjust the gearing a lot on this thing to stop it from stalling. So for this car, even on dirt, which should help it. You see how it went all the way down to 5, it went up to 7, went down to 5,000, and then started revving back up. That's what I mean by stalling. And that is solved by shortening the gearing. Mostly. It's at least not as readily evident. I think I came to the conclusion when tuning this that it just was going to stall. And that when I come to that conclusion, it's because even that little tiny stall, it still maxes out at 40 miles an hour in the first gear, and that's very, very short. So I just left it because this, even in the last game and the game before that, this particular engine, like if you spin out on this thing, might not be able to replicate it. Right there. You kind of spun out, and it takes a second to actually get back up and going. If you try to use this in FH5 for playground games, you'll lose a lot of the time because you'll spin out trying to like get somebody in Team King or something, and it'll stall, and it takes a second to get back up to speed. That's just the base engine. There's not really much you can do about that. But you can try by shortening the gear, the first gear. And whenever it stalls, you just gotta hit the e-brake to kick it back into gear. Or if you're using manual with clutch, you pop the clutch. Gearing is a little bit off for this particular track. Yeah, I've never done full sim stuff. Always just used a controller. How this feels. It's a little bit better. What's that car over there? A little bit on the expensive side. Yeah, that's how I tuned dirt. Usually I leave these alone, stock, and just come back in if it doesn't feel very good. Like the springs and damping, I put off-road suspension on it, or rally suspension, and leave it alone at first, and come back and fine-tune it, for dirt at least. Yeah, you also have to keep in mind that that rally racing is my like #1 thing that I like to do in this game. Hands down my favorite activity. So my tuning for it is usually on point, and that's also why I like doing a lot of the PR stunts. A lot of the PR stunts, at least the most difficult ones, are off-road. I think we need to test these cars on that danger sign. Highway jump. Pair. You've only gotten rally cars, or you've only tuned rally cars? Where's highway jump? There's highway jump. Interesting.
You've arrived at your destination.
Ooh, this is gonna be a rough landing. Ooh. I guess that's one way to check and see if the suspension's on point. So maybe the play is tune it for the other thing and then come to jump off this thing and see which one lands best. That might actually just be the play. I think that was 800. Yeah, nobody lived to that crash. Wait, can you jump to the side? Oh, it reset me. Can you jump to the side? It might still be a really, really rough landing though. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, now would be the time. Because the PR stunts we've got, it's a Trailblazer for next season. And we think the restriction's going to be B-Class Japan. That's what it seems like. Okay, so worst case, if you can't land on the highway, just go over, jump over to the right. But I would like to see if any of the cars I just tuned can actually land on the highway. What about the other Montero? Did it just turn me around? Oh no, it didn't.
Arrived at your destination.
It was less distance, but it did land it without any problem. Oh, there's no way the Safari lands it. No way.
You've arrived at your destination.
Yeah, no. That didn't even let me pass it first. Yeah. But does it land it if we go off to the right? Oh yeah. 6 it. Did not get as far as the first Montero though. Okay, so that works at least. What else do we got? This thing? This thing's got track suspension. Surely this lands it. With as much suspension travel this thing has.
arrived at your destination.
I think that was the furthest distance I got on the actual jump. And it stuck the landing. Did I tune something different? Or is that all? Oh, the beat. Oh, there's no way that beat. Not beat. What was it? Whatever that Honda was. That was the last thing in the list? Seriously? There's no way this thing lands it.
You've arrived at your destination.
What? It actually landed it. Okay. Cool. Didn't go very far though, so I think the two that did the best were this thing, even though it didn't land it. And the Baja truck. Or was it the Baja truck? Did we even test the Baja truck? It was this truck. I don't think we tested the Baja truck. I didn't notice it because I didn't paint it. Oh, did I even finish tuning this? What did I do to the gearing? I try to get 8 usable gears usually. Whatever that ends up looking like. And then we test the acceleration. Move out of the way, please. Oh yeah. So we are going to massively reduce. Wait. I can't actually. Okay. So we'll only do 302 on this one. I'm gonna have to do some weird shenanigans. Ooh, I just realized it is super late here. What the heck? Alright, Shadow. Have a good one. Appreciate you hanging out. I should be live a lot of the day tomorrow because I don't work tomorrow. So I'll be tuning a lot tomorrow. Especially after they tell us what the actual restrictions are. Is this better? That's gonna be the best we can get because that's already 40 miles an hour. This isn't gonna go very far, but it should land it. With this being that untuned on this, yeah. Transmission. I don't think I actually tested this thing. Have a good night. Yeah, I definitely did not test this thing. Suspension isn't terrible though. Just seems a little bit loose. Let's try that. Felt a little bit better. This is a perfect testing ground. Cross-country tunes. That should be fine. Let's bank the skill score real quick. Tell you what, I will order some food real quick and hop offline when food gets here. Food order has been placed. And we'll go till the food gets here. This is gonna be another one that looks terrible. Surely somebody made a decent looking orange one for this. Wait, can you turn that stuff off? You turn the decals and stuff off. Oh, you can. Nice. That'll work. Where is this car at? Why did they always make it so difficult? Right there. Wait, seriously? I want to save this tune. I have to save it, or I want to save this paint. And I basically save it as a new paint. It's the only option. Wait, I put the things back on. That is so weird. Did it actually take the stuff back off? That is such a convoluted thing just to take the liveries off. At least there's a way, though. I could just not have been away. Okay, I think that is enough tunes. Let's share them. I still want to know why SEAS has a completion thing for Deadpool. It's like it has a phone autocorrect or a keyboard autocorrect enabled for it. All right, there's that. All right, now the other Montero. The only things I didn't tune are the Tacoma, the Tundra, and the 4Runner. And the Land Cruiser. Those 4 cars. The Toyotas, basically. All the Toyotas. I didn't tune any Toyota. It was not intentional. Oh, I did actually. See, I did tune Toyota. I know I am missing a car. There it is. Is there really only 6 cars? It felt like more than that. No, that was it. Crazy. Alright, I need to record the results on the PR stats so you can compare. They were all pretty close. About 42, 43. I think one hit 44. They can all 3-star this thing. Surely they're not going to make the goal for B class higher than the 3-star goal. When does this unlock? Purple. Isn't that the second to last one? Yeah. Yeah, that unlocks an S1 class. Oh, S2 class, actually. There's no way that they make the goal that hard. Oh.
Arrived at your
I
destination.
think I can get more speed off of that. 796.9. Let's not have 3 traffic cars this time. How about that? Here's a novel idea. Page 1416. What's the 3-star goal? 850 and blue, which is the 3rd wristband. It'll be A class. So the A class restriction is 850. Or a B class. None of the cars got 850, I don't think, but we'll see. All of them might have. This is the Nissan Safari Turbo. This thing could not land it, so we need to land in the grass. Also is slower off the jump. If I remember correctly, this thing did really well on this Trailblazer though. And it is a treasure car. I feel like most people should have this by the second week of the game, but maybe not. Solid, but not better than first. We're gonna do the Monteros. Starting with this one.
Arrived at your destination.
Did have the best score so far. Mostly because that's top end and acceleration. Nice. Did you, when you changed to off-road tires, did you add power? That should also shave off a little bit more time. Yeah, rally tires. The main thing with rally tires is if you have a race that has a lot of road, if most of the race is tarmac and there's just a little bit of dirt section, the rally tires would make more sense. But for something like that that is all dirt, I would never even consider putting rally tires on. Because the one I'm thinking of as an example of a road, of a race that is like basically 100% road, it's the Bamboo Scramble. Where's that at? 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 Whe Yeah, that's why I just threw the off-roads on there. But if you're specifically tuning for something like the bamboo scramble, it might be worth throwing on the rally tires. If you're doing like a where's the bamboo scramble? Here we go. This thing. It has one dirt section. All the rest of it is 100% road. So if you're doing like a rivals event for rally, maybe not two types, just like two tunes on the same car, but you leave the rally tunes on there. Yeah, this is it's a lot bigger than it looks. But this road section requires a lot of good handling. And this in particular, there's a spot on this edge right here where you would just literally fly off into the lake if you're not careful, because there's not a barrier and it just is it's a fall off. And then you make a right hand turn and go through this really deceptively straight looking bamboo portion, and then it's nothing but road again throughout the whole rest of the race. So something like this race right here, you might think about doing rally tires if you're trying to score really high on the rivals. It's the thing with off-road tires on tarmac, you'll have more understeer than you would otherwise. It doesn't turn as sharply. The handling is less. What was I doing? Oh, new car. We gotta test it. Where am I at? Let's do this one first. Yeah, if the stock tires are a special case and they have better off-road handling than the off-road tires themselves, the only time I would switch is if I wanted to drastically lower the PI. Because those tires, while they do have a lot of off-road grip, they also have a lot of road grip. And that's going to raise the PI of those tires more than the off-road tires would. Darn it, I didn't get the exact score there. But if the car feels fine with those tires on, I wouldn't change it. But for competition's sake, to get to the top of the leaderboards, you might not be able to afford to keep those tires on there, depending on what car class you're in.
You've arrived at your destination.
I don't think this is the car. Doesn't have much top end. We will record the 775. This is definitely comparatively slow, especially considering. Did I? It's not what I wanted to do. Did I do weight reduction on this? I may have. Yeah, Trailblazer. I do the Trailblazer first. Yeah, there's a couple of cars like that where the stock tires are rally tires, but they're like a special rally tire compound that's different from the base compound. And sometimes it's better to just leave those on there. 42, 234. How much PI do you gain whenever you put the off-road tires on there? Does it drop the PI significantly? I actually just got the 22B in this game. Somebody gifted it to me in a car drop. I don't think I had it before then. Why do I have 3 of those? What the heck? Off-road adds 34 PI or removes 34 PI? Tuned for road racing. No, it's not. The heck? This car right here? How's it going, Eco Stress? Welcome to the stream. I'm probably going to bed pretty soon here. I got food on the way. Yeah, I'm not sure which stock tires you got on that thing, but it is not the same as mine. This thing just has standard tires. Talk about the E-Ray. Yeah, my rally tires add a bunch of off-road and grip. Just an all-around upgrade. Ooh. The food is almost here. I might not even have time to finish testing these cars. Depends on how fast I go. Yeah, if your stock tires are the same as mine, it adds a lot of grip, which is why it's adding so much PI. At least on paper, those don't have very good grip. I don't know how they actually drive, but according to the game, not very well. I think that said 42.201. Might have said 0.401. My food says it's a minute away. I think it's a little bit more than a minute away, but not very much more.
You've arrived at your destination.
Yeah, so it's not very good. Not gonna have time to tune the last car. Not tune. Test the last car. I'm gonna try to though. Alright, that is gonna do it for the stream, everybody. Appreciate everybody for joining and chilling with us as we tested the new Xbox. I think it should be fine. We've got a head start on our tunes for tomorrow. We should be streaming tomorrow, making the actual tunes for the festival playlist and recording
You've arrived at your destination.
the PR stunt videos. 820.44. But my food is here, so we are going to end the stream here. Hope to see y'all tomorrow for the stream, and either way, hopefully everybody has a good one. Y'all take care, and bye everybody.